Hey guys, Restocker here coming at you with another Dota 2 video, and in this one I'm going to be showing you how to jungle with Bloodseeker and how to hit level 6 before the 5-minute mark on a pretty consistent basis. Overall, I would say this is a pretty modest run. I don't get extremely lucky regarding the camps. It's not like the best EXP camps or anything. Pretty modest run overall, so this should be something that you can expect in your average pub Bloodseeker jungle experience. So something I want to talk about right off the bat is that we're going to be cutting down a lot of trees, and this is important because they let our transition from one camp to the next be a lot more smooth and efficient. So you want to take note on which trees I'm cutting down, and yeah, once again, just lets us kind of get from one camp to another in a lot more smooth manner. So another thing I want to cover very quickly is that you want to be really good at animation canceling. This is actually a very good practice if you just go into a custom game and try to jungle with Bloodseeker, because animation canceling makes it so that you save very precious seconds, which will let you do things like stack camps and just move on from one camp to the next. So we're going to leave that one tree there, tangle it up very quickly, and we're going to cast Blood Rage on the biggest creep here. And it's important that you cast it on the creep rather than yourself so you take less damage. Cast Blood Rage, and then you're going to Iron Talon it immediately. There actually missed the Blood Rage heal, but it's not... I wasn't particularly worried because I know that there's a golem camp in the medium spawn there. So since the golems don't do particularly a lot of damage, and I'm going to be sending myself the stout shield right away, I'm not too worried about the heal. But I'm going to say 9 times out of 10, if you're not very, I'm very comfortable with Bloodseeker. I know how to push his limits. He's my favorite hero, so. Yeah, scumbag Bloodseeker picker. I can kind of push his limits, but I would say 9 times out of 10 go for the heal. But clear speed is very important, and if once you start playing a hero a lot and you get a feel for things, you know whether you have to worry about the blood right heal or something like that. So just a small tidbit. Once again, just animation canceling a little bit, trying to get the best clear speeds I can. And you want to save the Iron Talon ideally all the time. If if there's only a few small creeps remaining in a camp, like the small satyrs or those little like mud golem dudes, you want to make sure that you save the Iron Talon for the big creep that you're going to be heading towards. So we want to head to the big camp, and we're going to try to kill this before the minute mark here, and it looks like we're going to be pretty successful in that regard. And something that you may have noticed is that I get Blood Rage at level 3. Once again, I get 2 points in Blood Rage, and because this essentially gives you 100% uptime on your Blood Rage, and I find that significantly better than Thirst. Every game that I play Bloodseeker, I get level 2 Blood Rage at level 3 when I'm jungling. If I'm playing mid or if I'm playing safe lane, then I get Thirst, but for jungling purposes, I think you always should get Blood Rage at level 3, so you go 2 points in Blood Rage at level 3. It just gives you so much more leeway. Once again, we're going to Horde the Courier out, and we're going to get ourselves a boot, and this is the last time we actually use the Courier. So use it a little bit early on, you'd be a little bit greedy with it, but after, this is the only 2 times we use it. Sometimes if you want to be super greedy, you can get your treads, and you might actually jungle even faster than this, but not every game you're going to be able to spam out the Courier like that. So at level 4, what I do is I get Blood Right, and what this does is it lets me stack camps. So Blood Right makes it a lot easier to stack camps. It gives you a little bit of leeway if you've kind of don't have the timing to manually walk up and stack a camp, or use like Iron Talon to try to stack the camp. So Blood Right gives you this huge freedom to play around. It gives you a lot of it basically makes up for your errors in things like timing, or even if you're just really unlucky and get a camp like the golem camp just takes a really long time to kill because of the nature of the camp, spawning those little boogers. And Blood Right kind of makes it easier to stack camps, especially from such a huge range. You could even be jungling a camp and you can stack another one. So that's a real good benefit of having Blood Rage. So I like getting it at level 4. It's not something I used to do, but it's something that I know is really useful. So as you can see, another thing is that once I get level 3 and I get the 2 points of Blood Rage, I actually just start casting Blood Rage on myself, because you get extra few swings on creeps as opposed to casting it on the big creep and then you're going to miss it. So if you want to stack the medium camp, you want to cast Blood Right at the 52-second mark. And it takes 3 seconds to activate, so essentially you're pulling it at like the 55-second mark, which is when you have to pull it. If you're trying to stack the big camp here that I'm doing right now, you also want to do it at 52, and every other camp you want to try to stack it at, you want to throw the Blood Right out at around 51, 52, somewhere around there, so it actually ends up, around 50, 51, so it ends up triggering around the 53, 54 second mark. So yeah. we're going to be doing this camp, and then we're going to head on over to the meeting camp, and we should be hitting level 6 here. As you can see, this wasn't particularly difficult in any regard. It was it requires a lot of mechanical skill in the sense that you have to be pretty good at animation canceling. You kind of have to understand your power thresholds and all those things. So yeah, we're just, you have enough money for treads. You got your stout shield iron talon at around the 4-minute 40-second mark. We hit level 6, and we even had a few creeps to spare. It's not like we hit level 6 off the very last creep or something like that, so which is really good. We got mana for rupture here, can go out for a gank or something like that. So it's actually a really good jungling hero. I think is very underrated in the sense that clear speed. I think a lot of people understand he's a pretty good jungler overall, but the clear speed aspect and his level 6 timing is something that can definitely be improved by a lot of players. Alright, so this is going to be the dire side of Bloodseeker jungling. It's just as fast as the Radiant side. A lot of the things that you do are the same. You're going to be cutting down trees and all that stuff, so I'm going to be running it at 2 times speed because you guys kind of got to see the Radiant side. And things are basically the same. We're going to get, things like Blood Right at level 4 just to help us stack camps. We're going to be chopping down trees to move around the map and get from one camp to another a little bit easier. But what I'm going to be talking a little bit more about right now is the mechanics behind a lot of the things that you want to do. So animation canceling is important. The reason we stand here is because it's actually really close to the camp, but the spawn box goes about right here. So if you want to get as much damage in as quickly as possible, you want to stand as closely to the camp as possible. So that's why we stand there. Another mechanic of Iron Talon is you can actually use Iron Talon during the backswing of your attack, but you can't use it while your hero's in the animation of attacking. So if you use it during the animation of your hero attacking, what happens is you actually cancel the attack basically, and you're going to Iron Talon and then your attack will go through, whereas if you use it during the backswing, it works completely fine. Like there's no animation on it. So you can do that if you're like doing a camp, or what you'll mostly be doing is just Iron Taloning before you attack anything anyway, but that's just an interesting thing that you can do. So another mechanic here that's important is you want to keep pulling the camps away so that you can get a few free hits, and then as they run away, you can hit them like 2-3 times. So that's really important and helps you do the big camp. As you can see, we took down arguably 2 of the hardest camps there, especially with the tomato and the potato. Those guys hits really hard, so you can kite them a little bit. It gives you 2-3 extra hits, so it's pretty helpful thing to do. Once again, just using Blood Right at level 4 to stack the camp. As you can see, we're not getting phenomenal camps here. These aren't like the best camps that you can get for EXP. It's a pretty average run. They're not terrible camps. They're pretty decent overall. Nothing to write home about. So yeah, this is basically your average run that you're seeing here. Once again, going with a pretty standard skill build here. And another thing to note is that we're not getting any thirst bonus from this. Assuming your team does even like 100 damage to each hero on the other team, you're going to be jungling faster than this. You'll probably be hitting level 6 at around 4-minute and like 30 seconds, 4-minute 20 seconds. It's very possible depending on how it goes in your game. This is like just free farming, but this is like free farming worst case scenario, with 0 thirst bonus. And once again, we have enough mana for a rupture gank when we hit level 6. Another really cool thing is, we hit level 6, we got a whole bunch of creeps here. It's not like we just barely hit level 6. We hit level 6 at like 4-minute 40, and we're already like halfway to level 7 at minute 5. So as you can see, dire side jungle just as good as Radiant side. And yeah, that's basically it. Focus on the mechanics, practice a lot of animation canceling and things like that, and go wreck some pubs, guys, and I'll see you next time.